I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
What's up everybody, it's HyperGoat here, and today we have a full call-out guide for Ghost of Tabor. This is to help out the new people and hopefully get better. I'm a pretty trustworthy source. I started playing 2 weeks after the open beta. I have about 530 hours in this game and roughly 1,000 kills. So I'm hoping that my information can just allow you to grow and stuff, because this game is pretty hard to learn, but easy to master once you get it. So we're going to go ahead and hop into training here, and I'll give you the callouts that Island and Missile Silo, because I can't really do Matka. I haven't really played that much, just because Island is always the way to go. I will be doing a full guide, loading screen, bunker, maps, eventually in a video coming up. So this is just the base starter. Alright, so this is going to be the first. This is one of the, I think there's 13 or 14 spawns on Island of Tabor. And I'm in a training just so I don't have to really worry about being killed by a trio. We call this spawn right here, like beach spawn. And beach spawn to prison. So we got multiple different beach spawns. There's one by lighthouse and stuff, which I will get to. But what I like to do is to get to the prison spawn. You'll see what prison spawn is here in just a couple seconds. So I like to run up on this hill and stuff, and then immediately always have your gun pulled. And the second you start getting up here, you want to look right. There's another spawn over there that can sometimes run. Here, once you get up here, you're easily able to spawn peek into prison spawn. But beware, they can stand up on that little red building over there and spawn camp you from over there. It depends who spawns in first. Most people, 99% of the people, don't do that spawn peek over there. I just learned that one not too long ago. It's about roughly 230 meters away from beach prison spawn. So this area is prison. It is, I can't really give a sense of direction, but you'll see it. It's one of the main big POIs. There's a couple of Fennecs that spawn in here. So this is cell blocks, obviously. This is cell blocks, and you can memorize the cell numbers. I don't really do that. Ow. Ow. Can we not die, please, game? This is the different cell blocks you can memorize. This is the main point of interest in prison. We call this Warden. This is like the main building that everybody is. And then from Warden, we have a couple callouts. This is the kitchen of Warden. Also, we call it first story if they're like just in here. You can say first story of Warden. Immediately your duo or your trio will know where they're at. I recommend playing in the duo. It's a lot easier, a lot less stressful. And then this is second story of prison. It has a purple keycard room, which you need to bring in the keycard, obviously. There's a couple of static spawns, which we will go over in the full guide. This is just a call-out guide. This is balcony of prison. Of Warden. And then this is, we call it like a barrack room. If you really need to call that call-out, you're probably in a tight situation already. So I would recommend trying to memorize that one room. But we also call it second floor down here. This is top floor, third story Warden. Main spot, what we usually do is we sit up on that hill over there and we shoot down in. I run this SCAR and stuff. It works really good. There's a static spawn right here. It's a GPU. And then you got crate and filing cabinet. I don't know why everybody comes up here sometimes. Maybe because there's a keycard spawn right here. But it happens to be that. Alright, so we're gonna head over. This is the only call out to prison. There's not really much. I don't even know what we call that hill. We just go on that hill. We can say prison hill if you want. Then we have outpost hill, and then we got hole in the wall. So we usually say hole in the wall if we see someone there, and then we try and describe it like left hole in the wall or right hole in the wall. That should help just get your eyes. Your only main goal is not to tell them their exact location, like north, longitude, something like that. Just to get your duo's eyes on them. This is, of course, going to be a duo or trio, because who needs callouts in solos? Unless you're, like, making a video or something. We call that big tower, too. It's like nothing too special because you can really name some of the stuff in there, but I highly recommend Warden and then naming each level in the outside. So we're gonna go head up over to church, and yeah, that'll be it. Alright, so we're on church area. This is all, we call this all church area, just because this is another, it's not a good POI unless you're playing night, because a boss can spawn in there and stuff, and there's a cellar, that's like a purple keycard room, except you don't need a purple keycard. But we call this, usually when we're in prison and we see someone up here, we'll say, call out Church Hill. That's because this is where we usually snipe from. You don't see many people doing it, mainly because it takes some skill to hit this, it's roughly 170 meters from here to the 3rd story of Warden. And then the far back over there is about 230 meters. So, we call this 1 POI church. So like, say we're running up this way from labs, we'll say, oh, I'm gonna go secure church, or something like that. We don't really have a call out for this because it's so small, but you could say main room of church, or bell tower church. Yeah, that's basically it over here. And then here's a kind of confusing part. We've been trying to make a call out for a long time, mainly because there's 3 run-ups at church. There's 2 paths, one on the left and right side. This is we call it campfire. We just call that campfire, I guess. We have the main paths. We're trying to make a call out for these paths. If you guys have one, leave some in the comments, because I've struggled. It's really hard when you're fighting someone on this hill to make an easy call out. So I'm trying to like say maybe Church Hill path 1, Church Hill path 2, and then Church Hill path 2, and then like middle Church Hill. Because sometimes when I'm fighting, I'm like lighting them up like and stuff, and I'm like ducking around and fighting them, and I'm like trying to find out where to call out, and my duo has no idea what I'm talking about. So it gets crazy. This is labs. It gets very advanced at labs. There's many callouts at labs, just because it has so many entrances. So that right there, we call that balcony as well. Balcony of labs. We call that little roof area. Here, I'll just use my laser. This little roof area, we call it lower roof. That's upper roof, and then you can say from upper roof, like right side of roof in the little gap areas, or left side of roof. Then you have 3rd story labs, 2nd story, 1st story, and then in here you have like garage area, and behind this wall, I'll go and show you that now. My main call out, what you're always going to want to run to, is traffic. We call this traffic because you can see into courtyard of labs and up here into church. So people that come down from church, you can easily snipe them from over here. And then you can easily look into courtyard and get junkyard over there. Over here, before we get into labs, we're gonna go to little camp. This is just little camp, because over that direction is big camp, or just camp. Camp has 3 levels, and I'll show you that in a minute. But in little camp, it's a pretty small POI. You're not gonna you're only gonna want to hit it up if it's like just you're passing by. This is little camp. There's a car battery spawn in that van, and then it's 1 crate there, 1 crate there, 2 crates in there with a helmet spawn and chest rig spawn. There's also a gun spawn in that tent, and then there's also a little crate over there. That's all that little camp is. This is traffic, and what I'm talking about, you can look all the way into courtyard, all the way down there. You can take out the Phoenix. Then you can look all the way back into junkyard, and then from here, you can also look all the way to church. What's even better is if you drop down here, you can see anybody on lower roof, but that's very unexpected for them. You can look into that little balcony area of, I think that's 3rd story labs, and then that's garage that goes down in there. You can also look all the way into radio if people are coming down from Radio Hill. So that's another call out, Radio Hill, up right about there. You'll see why I call that in, I don't know, 3 minutes. There's so many call outs I'm trying to go over. I'm trying to remember all of them. This hill, we try to base everything off of traffic. It's really hard just in these blank spots. We don't really have a call out for any of these, even playing for so long. Then that little drop down area, that's a secret. Well, what used to be a secret, used to have really good loot, but we call it secret drop down. And then you can also just say roof where secret drop down is for that like corner area. And then you have like upper level of courtyard. which is that, and you have lower level courtyard, which is like all of this. But usually if you say lower level, they'll know immediately what you're talking about. And then you have, and then you have the road of labs, is what you can say. It's pretty easy. And then from here, you can also break it down even more, like saying hole in the wall, fence of lower labs. It could get really confusing. So I'm not going to go over those small, minute callouts, even though, because I don't even use them. Usually, if you're a pretty good shot, you'll kill them immediately. And that's, again, garage. And then there's a ladder that goes up onto the balcony. We don't really have a callout for that room, because we don't see people too often. Squeaky door of garage is what I call that little door area, because it does squeak when you open it. Hole in the wall, second floor labs. Really important. If you see some, only good players will peek from there, because that's the only counter to this area. Because you can, it's hard to hit them from traffic, but it's pretty easy to hit them from hole in the wall if you have a good shot. And then you have armor. Should have reloaded this sooner. Hold up, give me 2 seconds, because this is like the armor spawner courtyard. That can break it down a little more. Second level secret, first level secret. From here, you'll have like the main entrance of labs, is what we call this. So this whole area is main entrance of labs, and then you can break it down even more, like, oh, stairs, main entrance, stuff like that. NRS spawn in here. Well, it's not guaranteed anymore. This is like first story. We don't have too many. We don't have a callout for this room. It's just, yeah, it's hard to make so many callouts for every single room in the game. You just gotta describe it as best as you can. This room, we also don't have a callout. If you see someone in here, you're just unlucky. Here, we can call it the backside of labs, if you want, like backside first story. And we also use these windows, like big windows. Big windows and stuff like that to describe it. These vents are really, going crazy today. This is first story, also known as floor 1. No, this is second floor. This is second floor. It has a little locker, a filing cabinet room in here. Now, this room right here is the instant killer. Right here, we usually peek from up here, and we'll look down into this room, check if this crate's looted. If it is, we'll sit up there for about 2 minutes and just wait, because usually on the other side of this room is these staircases, which you almost always will catch players in about 1.5 minutes go up. Very predictable in this game once you play it so much. You know exactly where the players will be. Here, you could call it like office or conference. It's a preference, because up here is going to be another conference room, which I personally call conference. Oh, and back here you have bathrooms. Like, it's easier to call out if you're fighting in this room. You won't really. And then, like, down here, not really a call out, not really a necessity. If you're fighting someone down there, I don't know how you managed to get in that situation. Here, I call it stairs. We call it just stairs because it's, like, going to be the only place where you're going to really fight people from labs on the outside. So we'll call it stairs. You'll have them come up here. You'll light them up going through this window. They'll probably run to this window, and then you'll kill them. Here, this is conference room in the back right over here. It has a purple keycard spawn. I'm not going over all the spawns. Of course, I missed a couple. But it has a purple spawn right here. But this is conference. You're not going to really cast people in here. Sometimes, if you're sitting up there, you'll see them run by this window, and you'll be able to kill them. I did it like 4 or 5 raids ago. Yeah, this game's all about patience and just watching and knowing where they're most likely to be. So this is conference of labs, and you can say third story, doesn't matter. This room, don't have a call out for it. Now, the roof has, I think, 1 or 2 call outs that you can do. It's hard to break it all down because it's mainly just a lot of buildings. I'll show you that from Radio Hill. This video's gonna take forever to upload. Alright. See, it's hard to call out this, but you can call it like stairs entrance, and then you can also name it by the corners. So like closest corner to us on Hill, or even if you're standing right there, you can look directly and hit them from here. Pillars, we call that pipes or pillars. Like, we don't have a call out for every individual pillar, but like, I'm moving up to the next pillar, or following the pipeline. This is all radio hill going all the way down to here, just because it's just easy. You'll see there's a radio tower right over there. You can see part of it. And this is like, we don't really have a call out for that, but if you're like, usually your duo are standing pretty close together, so you can, what I do is I just use a laser and point it out, because sometimes it's really hard to describe stuff in this game. Lab's roof is, yeah, lab's roof. And then you can break it down to different spawns, like, this is not a call out. We don't have, this is the main call out on lab's roof, is helipad. So when you call out helipad, your duo will probably look over there and smoke them, or you'll smoke them before you even see them. Mainly helipad, you can see directly up there. I'm telling you, there's at highest points in the game, traffic over there, and radio hill. You'll catch so many people off guard and stuff. I use a stock, so it's a lot easier to hit my shots, keeps my gun really still. Is the Phoenix respawn? No. Alright. This is secret drop down. I'll just drop down into it real quick. You'll go all the way around. There's a couple crates in here with a filing cabinet, but I'm gonna just go all the way down. I'm not trying to do a full guy. Okay, let's be careful. Right. Over there, that's docks. You'll have second floor docks, and then you have like that's the exfil over there. There's not, it's like church, so there's not really, it's pretty small, so there's not like a breakdown of many call-outs to it. Alright, I'm gonna head over to radio, and yep, I gotta keep these videos split up, or else I'd just put them in one long video, but it's easier for the quest to have them split up. Radio hill. So, this Phoenix, you're gonna, I don't even know where he's at. So, this is Radio Hill. Like I said, you can peek all the way to helipad, you can kill people at traffic. It's probably the best spawn thing in the game, but if you now look from this side, that stairwell that I just told you about, that call out, you'll most likely be able to see people. That crate looted right, where's the room at? I guess it's not going to render in a training, but the crate's right in that window right there, so if you see that's looted, you'll wait here for about a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and then you'll probably see someone running up the stairs. From there, it's a pretty free kill, if you get your shots. Or they're tanked like a million shots. Here, we don't really have a main call out. This is camp. I'll teach you about that in like a minute. But we don't, you try to just describe the best. We usually use coordinates, so we'll use, northwest behind that tallest pine tree or something like that. You just hope you can describe it good enough so your duo can see where they're at least. So here's radio. Definitely, you're gonna catch yourself in a lot of firefights here. We have radio roof up here, second floor radio, and first floor radio. There's 2 GPU spawns and a purple keycard spawn in radio. Definitely the best POI to hit. And island, you definitely want to constantly be hitting this because it just has. So these are static spawns, and these are just randomized because they spawn different stuff. So you have first floor in here. Sometimes you'll hear people walking on the grass when you're standing here, and then you'll light them up. Then here is what I thought there used to be a purple here. There's not a purple spawn in there, but that's like, you can call that whatever. Here, there's a purple spawn right there. And then you'll have radio roof up here. Like I said, it's pretty small, so you can't make too many callouts, but radio roof, you gotta be careful when some kids will watch you come up this there's like a little path up here. Usually I like to hide in that tree if I hear people at radio. I'll wait here for like 30 seconds. If I think it's clear, then I'll run up. If not, if I hear someone moving, I'll wait for them to drop down and kill them. Like I said, the game's all about patience, so the more patience you have, the more kills you'll get. This is like the only place there's GPU spawns in each of these shelves. You'll only get one though, what I found most of the time. And then also, there's just 2 lockers in there. It's pretty simple. Now we're gonna go hit up camp, which is also another main POI, because there's 1 spawn, 2 spawns, 3 spawns, 4 spawns in this one area. So it's pretty tight. Within like a 300-meter radius, there's 4 spawns, which is pretty tight if you ask me. And then all the way down there, you have dock spawns. So, oh my god. We're running low on ammo, so take this quick and not shoot as much. Here's 3rd level of camp. You're gonna want to memorize this one. Hold up. What? Alright, here's third level of camp. So here, you'll have third level. This is second level, and down there is first level. It's very important that you memorize those, because this thing is a very long strip, and you'll have people running over this hill from what we call bunker over there, and then into third level of camp, or into second level of camp. You'll definitely be fighting kids here. If you're newer to the game, you won't know that yet, but this is second level, we call it, because this is like a little split, so it's just easier to split it up by like the little splits in the areas. Over here, we'll have first level. There's also a car battery spawn in that van down there. I'm not going to go over that in this video, but here's bunker and lighthouse. Lighthouse, there's literally nothing that you can call out except lighthouse. Over down there, there's like a... Hold up, I gotta get to it. This phone won't light me up. Over there, there's a gasoline spawn, so you can call that gasoline if you really want to. Then there's first level, to show you a little easier. Here's bunker, and then we call that also beach. And then over by that, all over by prison, by church, between church, there's alright. Over by prison, there's a thing we call a border. I forgot to show you that in this video, but it's pretty simple. It's that exo over in between church and prison, all the way on the other side of the map. It just looks like this. So this is beach, easier call out. And then you have the spawns 1, 2, and 3 on the opposite side of lighthouse. And bunker, it's honestly trash. I've never gotten anything good out of here except the purple one time in that crate, which is pure RNG. So only if you spawn here, you're gonna want to hit it up. Or if you're... Alright, we're in Mist Asylum. So, it's actually... I've mained island since the middle of last wipe and like all of this wipe. So, Mist Asylum might be a little rusty. We call this tunnel spawn. I'm gonna tell you all the spawns, because I have named every spawn. We'll go this way first. So, actually, elevator shaft. Right here. Pretty easy, because it's literally an elevator shaft. This is all sewers or tunnels or whatever you want to call them. There's tunnels expo over there. And here, we call it the silo. Oh my god. This is the silo, or missile silo. It's the name of the map. First level missile silo, second, third, fourth, etc. Still all in tunnels. Like I said, you're usually sticking together, so you don't need to make like a call out too hard. Here is... It's a boss spawn, so you can just say boss spawn 1 or whatever. I honestly don't really know what to call it for that one. Here is first level of... or just stairs. I don't remember exactly what we call it, but it's stairs. It's like the only stairs in the map. So we'll call this... We call it train. It is definitely varied upon players, and I also don't even agree with some of the calls for the devs, but those are just recommendations, like I said. We call this train. So we got left side of train, right side of train. This in here, people call it containers, also known, you can see by that. We call it train, because it's train. There's trains over there. This is, train, yep, like I said, train. Pretty simple in there. And train. See? It's train. So, we made that call when very early on, so I never changed it. Train spawn, right over there. And then, yeah, we gotta go through here. There's a couple call-outs over here. Over here, we'll have Joker. Yeah, just Joker. It's gonna be the main call-out. The third story is where all the action's gonna be, so... And there's Joker, because there's I tell you, there's no joke sometimes. This area, 2 containers. Keep it easy. 2 containers of the silo. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. or you can say on the level of train. There's nothing, no rooms on this level. And this is going to be the main level. This is where 1, 2, 3 spawns will be. First spawn. In here. Cafeteria. I don't care what anybody else calls it, it's cafeteria. Even if there's an office part of it, it's cafeteria. Cafeteria tunnels. We call this... we could call it cafeteria corridor. We'll keep it easy. Cafeteria corridor just because there's 2 entrances, so... Or you can call it cafeteria entrance. It's pretty easy. So cafeteria tunnels, you're going to want to break this down because you're going to be fighting main people a lot in here. Purple vault, so cafeteria purple vault, you want to call that. This is the main area cafeteria. Alright? You'll see why I call it cafeteria. I don't care if it's an office, it's a cafeteria. Because there's a cafeteria. So, or you could call this part office and this part cafeteria. It does not matter. It's completely personal and stuff. I just have called this all cafeteria because if you're fighting someone back there, they better have something good. Because for wasting my time to go all the way back there and risking my life to fight them back there, they better have something good. Here, you're going to fight them as you'll probably be running up the tunnels, or they'll be running up the tunnels. It really doesn't matter. So, that's cafeteria tunnels, and then cafeteria entrance. 3 callouts, 1 area. Now, this area, it depends what way you're facing, because you can call it, you'll say into connector, which I guess I would go into this room. We call this connector. Has 3 entrances. It literally connects this main area, so it's connector. It makes perfect sense. So, from here, you'll call this area looking at the cafeteria entrance. You're not going to really be fighting someone in here because they're most likely dead if they don't know you're here. Here. What? Alright, we're going to make this video fast. Alright, hold up. Here, this is the entrance to Skull. This is just the tunnel to Skull. This is Skull. This room back here is where Skull spawn is, so that's why we call it Skull. This, or you could call this like Skull room. Here is where the Skull spawns. I don't know why my headset's dying. It should not be dying. Yep, this is Skull. This is. We might have to continue this video after. Shoot. Up here, it's gonna be hospital. There's also a spawn up there. Pretty simple. Alright. Oh, that spawn down there that I said boss spawn 1, that you could call that just boss spawn. Because this over here, so connector, and then we call this stars. Because it's like the best, it's the only way you actually get to touch grass on missile silo. Invisible grass. So this is stars. This is also where the boss spawns. So you could call it stars level 1, stars level 2. Pretty simple. And then you could call it entrance to stars tunnel. Because a lot of these tunnels are really hard to call out, but there are important call outs. Red room. We call it red room because it's like red. It's pretty easy. So red room. Yeah, it's just a lot of red in here, and it goes towards connector. This is entrance to red room. A lot of entrances, callouts. This is garage, another vital space where you're gonna be fighting a whole bunch of people on this. Garage spawn. Call this garage spawn. Trust me, it's gonna be very helpful. So this is garage. You can say like back in the garage. This used to be APC. There was an APC here, and we called it APC. So, we still call that APC here. This is Squeaky. There's also an exfil up there. You can call it, we don't ever get out there, so we don't really have a call out for that. And then, other garage spawn. There's another, I don't know why we called it this, but we did. So this little corridor area is other garage spawn, like this area. So if you say other garage spawn, they'll definitely be looking this way, so they'll know they're there. This is other garage spawn, right in here. 2 little areas, yada yada yada. Yeah, that's pretty much it on missile silo for the main call. It's pretty simple. And then you can go left or right, and I usually go right if I'm looking for kills. Here, I don't know where to call this. You guys can call this whatever you want. yeah, we don't really have a callout for this because you're not really fighting too many people in this area. And then right down that ladder is the spawn for this area. That's basically it for Missile Silo. So I hope you guys enjoyed this guide, and I guess we'll end it off on a bang. Yeah, but that's basically it for the video. That's all the callouts I could really think of, and if you guys got any more to recommend, go ahead and leave them down in the comments for the none of you that watch this video. I hope this helped out all you new players, and yeah, that's basically it. We'll have that full video coming soon of the bunker breakdown, just everything. I'll be your tutorial for the whole game. Alright, so you have the tutorial, which I always will recommend playing. It just helps out a lot, teaches you how to reload guns, which you guys hopefully should know how to do. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys again. Peace.